Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Democracy 3. We are playing as a Socialist USA. We are going for, of course, that Socialist Paradise achievement. And, yeah, it seems like we've chosen pretty much the most difficult place to go for. But whatever, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Anyway, getting down to business. Little status update. How are we doing? Well, our debt's actually not too bad. It looks like we've actually managed to just tip below the amount of money that that we were in debt at the start of the game. Yeah, I think we're slightly less than we did at the start of the game. That's what I'm trying to say with my convoluted words. Our income is quite a nice parabola, except an upside down parabola, whatever that is called in mathematics, because a parabola usually goes like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Ridiculous maths tips with potato, but hey ho, the global economy is still going down the shitter, let's face it. Our GDP is not doing much better, but you know what? We've got a chance here. We've got a chance to implement a whole bunch of new policies, and indeed, if I can recall, state schools is something that is going to be rolled out over the course of the next couple of turns, which is very, very exciting indeed. That's obviously going to be costing us a shit ton more money, which is actually really problematic because we don't know how we're going to raise that money. Now obviously one way that we are going to get a little bit of money, and I say a little bit of money because 46 billion is apparently now a little bit of money, but one way that we are going to get quite a large amount of money is through the fact that alcohol abuse will stop being so in existence. I was going to say stop being so expensive, but it's not going to stop being so expensive, it's just going to stop existing altogether. That's basically thanks to community policing. Now, you know, I've said it once, I'll say it again, community policing really is the MVP of the whole law and order section of this entire area. It's really very good. Can thoroughly recommend it. Ghettos are disappearing slowly but surely. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we can make it go. There's nothing that we can do to make it go any faster than what we've already been doing. I suppose there is a couple of course, for example, like language courses, for example, that's something that we could do. We could also introduce the Stamp Out Racism Week. Have we not introduced that? Perhaps we haven't actually introduced that, or perhaps we have introduced that. I really just cannot recall. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. I really cannot remember. Oh no, look, here it is, Stamp Out Racism Week. Let's introduce it. Let's fully fund it. A little bit of a racial tension reduction, so not bad, but not exactly the most valuable thing in the entire world. Now, I've previously talked about how I did think that the environmentalists were going to be the most problematic faction for us. I still maintain that. Liberals are a little bit less problematic, in fairness, but I really do think that environmentalists are going to be the biggest issue. Perhaps road maintenance is a key way of going about fixing this. I really actually think that it probably is. It does take a shit long time to implement itself, though. So I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to have to introduce some new policies. Some new economic policies to try and just make people a little bit happier with us. Eco-home regulations, not super duper sold on that. Smart meter regulations, yeah, I mean, I'll do it. Energy efficiency up a little bit, you know, fantastic, whoop-de-fucking-do. It's not going to change the world, but it's at least going to make things a little bit better. Clean energy subsidies, this is something else that I am totally down for. Now, this is a really good policy for a whole variety of reasons. Obviously, it really does upset the capitalists just a little smidgen, but it makes the environmentalists a little bit happy. Increases the amount of the environment, which is apparently a thing that can happen. Increases the amount of the environment, increases the condition of the environment by 21%, I think, and you know, also energy efficiency and reducing CO2 emissions by a fairly hefty amount for only 20 billion. That's an absolute bargain, ladies and gents. I'll tell you, an absolute bargain. Is it going to be enough to make sure that the environmentalists don't hate us? Well, maybe not, but we'll have to wait and see. We don't have any nuclear waste to worry about, so we're fine in terms of nuclear waste. Religious people, yeah, we talked a little bit about in the previous episode how they're not super happy with us. I'm okay with that, though. Internet crime looks like it's going to be ending. Going to give us a nice little boost to our GDP. Going to reduce crime by a little bit more. In all honesty, I would expect to win this next election if we can stay alive until that long, because, you know, last couple of series we've had a real difficult time staying alive, which is perhaps a little bit of a downside. Okay, the welfare minister has resigned. That is very, very worrying indeed. Let me check the security briefing. Okay. Okay. This is not good. This is not good for a variety of reasons. If we can still manage to stay alive after the end of this, then we'd be in luck. But capitalists are really fucking hating on us right now. Holy shit. Private prisons? Can we up private prisons to make capitalists happier? I mean, liberals like it. It reduces unemployment. Trade unionists don't like it, but trade unionists never hurt anyone. You know what? I think that might actually be a good idea. It does cost a little bit more money, but I think it is a wise investment. Yeah, not super keen on the whole thing that's going on here. We do need to lower the sales tax. That's something that I'm going to do. And what I'm actually going to do is I think... Is it worth it, though? I mean, we're running a deficit at the moment. We really can't afford to get rid of the sales tax, unfortunately. The global economy really just is not nice to us. It really is not being very nice at all. And our expenditure is now way, way, way above our income. So, once again, we're in the very, very precarious situation of being fucked, you know? It's really difficult. So, Warriors of Gaia, I'm sorry that you guys are so unbelievably annoyed at me right now, right? I'm sorry that you're annoyed at me. I really am. But I'm trying to appease you. Look, CO2 emissions are going to be coming down sooner rather than later, so just, please, just give me a chance. Give me a chance. What else can we do? I mean, clean energy subsidies are going to take 8 turns to implement themselves. Okay, let's just be really ballsy and assume that Warriors of Gaia are going to sort themselves. Now, what I'm going to do is perhaps a little bit tactical here. We're going to hire somebody who is a capitalist. And the reason that we're going to hire somebody for a capitalist is A, because she's great for the job, right? She's really, really good. She's very, very loyal. She doesn't have a lot of experience or effectiveness, but, you know, that'll improve. So, theoretically, it means that the capitalists are now going to have a sympathetic minister, which should be a little bit better, you know, makes them at least a little bit happier with us, but I wouldn't hold your breath, so to speak. I wouldn't hold your breath too much, but it's worth a shot anyway. Labor laws are very, very firmly in the way of capitalists. Yeah. I just don't know what else we can do, because we're not... I don't feel that we're doing an overly bad job. It's just the capitalists just a single opportunity they get, and they just bam right in there, you know? They're just ready to fuck things up. They really are very, very difficult to deal with. Okay, okay. What is this? What is this? Credit rating downgraded. That's very bad. Really unbelievably bad. Health, however, is up tremendously. Crime is rock bottom. Poverty is meh. Unemployment is meh. And GDP is pretty darned trashy. Yeah, the global economy is still in a recession. That's fucking us really, really hard right now. I don't know. I don't know. What's our threat assessment looking like? The Badenberg Group. I'm really, really very, very worried about the Badenberg Group. They are my #1 priority right now, because as the state housing continues to expand, it's just going to continue to piss capitalists off, and that could really very, very potentially push them over the edge. What can we do about this? Technology grants? Up technology grants a little bit? Potentially. What I'm more concerned about is the fact that we are running a severe deficit. Like a severe fucking deficit right now. And unless we turn that around, I don't know how we're gonna fix it. Tax shelters? Yeah, I guess. This has got to be a temporary measure, right? Because it cannot be sustained. Socialists are gonna fucking hate us for this. Let's do it temporarily to try and balance out the discord between socialists and capitalists. But it's really, really bad that we even have to consider doing that. Not to mention the fact that it actually costs us money. I mean, it's a bad policy, but it's really, really good in terms of what it actually does for us. But I'd just rather not be introducing a policy which discriminates between wealthy and poorer people, you know? I mean, that doesn't really help equality in the slightest. I mean, equality is going to absolutely fucking nosedive right now. I mean, look at this. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, we're in a good place. We're in a good place. School vouchers. Are school vouchers really a way to solve this problem? I don't think they are. In fact, I think school vouchers are probably going to get cancelled. Yeah, I mean, what they don't do anything for equality. They don't do anything for poor earnings, and they just increase private schools. And private schools, I suppose, are alright, but they really, really aren't very good at all. I mean, they really are not very good at all. I think we should cancel them. I absolutely think we should cancel school vouchers. Yeah, you know, when we've got a fantastically established state system, we really shouldn't be spending any money on providing school vouchers. I mean, let's think about this. What else can we do to try and reduce our expenditure? I mean, we don't want to reduce this because it feeds into GDP and it feeds into the fact that capitalists are happy with us. What else? I mean, the debt interest is obviously mounting up. It's only 2.1% of GDP now, but it is going to get larger. It is going to get larger. And that's not something I really, really want to contemplate. Unemployed benefit. Is this worth sticking around? Well, we don't have the political capital to change it at the moment, but it doesn't really do enough to warrant keeping around, you know? So unemployed benefit is going to get cut next turn. As crazy as that sounds from a socialist government, I really don't think it does enough. I really honestly don't. Thanks for the advice for the capitalist plot. A flash crash. That's terrible. That's really, really bad, but you know, what can you do? Ghettos has ended. Internet crime has ended. Fantastic. That is really, really very, very good news. It doesn't solve the fact that we're still very, very much in debt. But, you know, we're really trying to get out of this hole that we've managed to dig ourselves into. We really, really are. The fact that GDP is so low is really affecting... It's really affecting capitalists' opinion of us. Capitalists' opinion of us, should I say. Income tax, corporation tax, clean energy subsidies. I mean, should we cut that back? You know, perhaps we cut it back. Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut it back so that capitalists aren't going to get any more annoyed with us. That's the dream, anyway. We need to get rid of some of these gosh darn taxes, but we just don't have the economy to do anything. We just don't have the economy to say, hey, let's just cut these taxes. We really, really can't. And it really is very, very troubling. I mean, what taxes are doing not very much? I mean, this one, I suppose. Upsetting capitalists. Yeah, I think we've got to start cutting back on taxes, unfortunately. I mean, what else can we do? I mean, we could try and increase income tax, but that costs a lot of political capital. That's going to make capitalists even more annoyed with us. That really is. I mean, our debt's not in a bad situation, right? But each and every time that our credit rating gets downgraded, it's going to mean more and more money. The foreign affairs minister has resigned. Well, once again, we're going to go for the whole hire a capitalist sort of thing. And make sure that we try and get somebody who's at least sympathetic to the capitalist cause. So that it makes capitalists just that little bit happier with us. Now, deficit of 440... Oh, my God. 494 billion. Capitalists are at least a little bit happier with us. The Battenberg Group is now minimized. That's great. That's really, really good. Very, very happy with that. It only cost us... Well, it cost us quite heavily, actually, because the Communist Party is now going to increase in membership, and the Revolutionary Army is going to increase in membership, so... Yeah, not super thrilled about that, I'm afraid. How is capitalist happiness? Capitalist happiness are doing pretty darn good. But state housing, we're still working on deploying. How are we doing for fucking homelessness? Come on. Are you serious? How are we not solving this already? Unemployment. Oh, my God. Unemployment's going to go down this turn. That's for sure. But it's just so annoying that we've got so many residual things just existing. You know what I mean? We've just got so many problems, so many underlying issues that are really very, very difficult to deal with. Wages are pretty darned low. What can we do to make capitalists happy with us? I really do not know. Do we have enough to save up for 30 political capital? We don't. We really don't. I think, to be honest, I think it might be wise if we just let go of this guy. Yeah, you know what? I think it is. I think it is. And let's hire, once again, another capitalist, if at all we can. Yep, you're not the best, but you're certainly not the worst. So we've got 3 capitalists on our cabinet right now, which is kind of unbelievable. And we're still trying to make sure that we appease them. It's really, really difficult to do, but I think we're trying our best. Now, if we're lucky, right, the political capital cap is going to increase. Unemployment coming halfway down to where it used to be. GDP rebounding very, very strongly. Holy cow, this is great to see. In fact, this is going to, fingers crossed, make our deficit back. Now, unfortunately, we just don't have enough political capital to introduce the changes that I wanted to introduce. Now, the change that I wanted to introduce was the income tax raising, right? Now, this is going to upset capitalists, but it's going to raise us such a large amount of money that we are, fingers crossed, going to be able to pay back quite a significant portion of our debt very, very quickly. That's the plan anyway. I mean, obviously, things don't usually go to plan, but I can dream, can't I? What decision do I have to make? I have to make a decision. A torture. No, well, we'll keep him here. Keep him here to make sure the liberals don't get too angry with us. Yeah, capitalists. Oh, you know what we could introduce? You know what we can introduce right now? That's not going to cost us too much political capital, but at the same time, it's going to help the capitalists love us even more than they currently do. I'm just looking for it right now. In fact, it'll be in transport, won't it? Toll roads. Yes, toll roads. Unfortunately, that costs 25 political capital to introduce toll roads. That's not super great. I'm not okay with that. We can, at a max, spend 14 political capital to implement a policy so that we don't go overboard. In fact, 14 is exactly what we need. Clean fuel subsidy. I think we'll introduce the clean fuel subsidy, and we'll fully fund it. Why not? And then, you know, that leaves us on 15 political capital. We'll be getting 15 political capital next turn. It's going to give us a maximum of 30. We're not going to be wasting a single little bit of that precious, precious political capital. Obviously, we are going to need to increase the income tax by a fairly large amount. Fortunately, people aren't too pissed off with us right now. And the people that are pissed off with us, the warriors of Gaia, we've already introduced this policy to try and account for that. And in terms of the Freedom League, well, we're keeping the tortured person here so that they won't get too pissed off at us. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my name, of course, has been Over the Potato. This has been Democracy 3. We've been playing as a Socialist USA, and until next time, bye.